Well, I already knew they was gonna start trying to pit me and you against each other. That's what anti-Afro Svengali goal is and everything. She want everybody at each other's throats. That's her. She a fucking she a cancer.
Don't play what the fuck I thought about Shakim or a goddamn T-Pre, because they know what the fuck I think about them. These three people in question, I'm gonna say this, and anything else I will say in writing. T-Pre, I supported you when other people did not, and you stabbed me in the back.
Yeah.
I will never forgive you for that shit.
Yeah.
Shakim, I kept your fucking secrets.
Yeah.
And I supported you. But you're going to go around telling everybody that you took shots for me. You didn't have to take no shot for me, little nigga. Everybody that I was upset with or didn't get along with, you had already fallen out with them first.
Facts.
So I didn't cause you anything. You can't pay my bills. My husband doesn't need you for shit. For Chad T, you like to talk about the niggas in the sector who are me and who won't. First of all, I'm off the market. So none of y'all can fuck me. And you can't fuck with me either. That's your personal problems. Please stop using my name because your lives are, so fucking boring. Talk about yourselves for a change. You say you don't support people calling people's jobs, and I have an email that I will share tomorrow of responding to my attorney saying that she sent a letter to my job and Rev G co-signed on it. I don't hate Shakim. But little boy, you need to go somewhere and play with somebody your own age. Because I heard him say that I don't have shit. Wait a minute. I heard him say the other day that I don't have shit. You don't know what the fuck I have. You don't know what I have.
I mean, I proved the other day, he just literally makes shit up off the top of his head.
Right, but the apartment that I was renting in Leesburg, Georgia, was 1,300 square feet, which is bigger than your house, no disrespect. No. And he is too, almost put together. The apartment that I was renting in Leesburg, Georgia, was 1,300 square feet, which is bigger than your house, no disrespect. No. And he is too, almost put together.
Savages. Holy Christ, she's a savage. They're gonna get that dink bitch.
Ray Triggs, I don't have anything personal with you. Nigga, I joned on your ass and you got upset. I let it go, little boy, because I don't play with kids. I let it go. You got upset, not me. You got upset. You think it's funny to distort my pictures and to defame, but to defame my professional name. I ain't throwing salt on your shit. I don't go around talking about you. You ain't nothing to talk about. Do some shit and I might talk about you. Spotum, I'm tired of you. Because here's what I'd like for Spotum to do. Because he has not acknowledged his own bullshit. And I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. All the conversations that you and I have had on the phone, I'm tired of you. Please leave me alone. I'm asking you kindly. Leave me alone.
Well, what did he do?
He knows what he's doing.
After loathing is worse than hate. Did he say something after that?
I'm not talking about just today in the chat, Carrie. I'm talking about over the past couple of months. I need him to leave me. Troll another motherfucker, okay?
Anti-Afro Svengalis. She's big mad at y'all. I don't give a damn if she's mad at me. I know one thing for sure. You want to go down that road? I'm going to go down that road with you. I got some things I want to share with you. I want to give some perspective. Look at the avatar. It's one of frustration. But for those who rock with me, and I appreciate it, you already know this doesn't apply to me. Not in this arena. Frustration. But I'm going to give you an invitation. Ponder for a second. When you have an expectation, when you set a goal, do you really think about the potential of being able to achieve that goal. It is so often that people set a goal. They have a strategy in mind because they're looking to get a result. And that result is never going to be attainable. And when you continue to try to pursue that goal, your frustration level just spirals. You get whipped into a frenzy. You run live streams that go on forever. I remember there was a live stream that was 11 hours. 11 hours. And the entire time they were talking about me, they were talking about Lynn and Honor, they were talking about Rev G, they were talking about all the people who support AFW. 11 hours. Question: does anybody think any goal was achieved with respect to us? What they wanted to do is to shut us up, to shut us down, to stop us from what we were doing with respect to our goals involving Umar. On the surface, the underlying goal absolutely was to get Umar Johnson to hone in on them and continue to speak on them by name. They never achieved that goal. They wanted all the attention pulled in their direction and for us to feel overwhelmingly frustrated to the point where we would just throw our hands up and just abandon ship. When that didn't happen, they created this fallacy about they beat AFW. People need to say and do these things. We all know no such thing occurred because there was all that infighting. And you had people turning, and I'm seriously mean turning, meeting that definition. And we weren't watching, we were getting emails about it because other people were watching it. All of the things that they tried to perpetrate on us, they turned around and did it to each other. And we see the same pattern occurring in the here and now. It's not my level of frustration. You have Carrie Ann's frustrated. You have other people running 4-hour live streams bashing women. Incredibly frustrated. And why is that? Because the goal of trying to get us to do, the people that they're targeting, what they want us to do is not working. It was never going to work. Now, as far as Carrie Ann, what can you say? Not much. Carrie Ann is hard-headed. Her head is like a literal sieve. For someone who goes on and on about all of this education and these certifications, and I got this, there is such a discrepancy when it comes to judgment. There's a discrepancy when it comes to displaying common sense. There's such a discrepancy when it comes to protecting thyself. So many discrepancies, but still you have the demand for others to do and say what she wants them to do and to kowtow according to what her demands are. Now, it doesn't bother me in the least when people claim this is what I do. They can claim all day, every day, but why isn't my level of frustration in anywhere remotely similar to Carrie Ann? The more frustration, the least number of options. The lesser amount of frustration, the more options a person has accessible to them. And this is a situation with Carrie Ann. All of this talk about fear, she's trying to scare me, she's trying to control me. These are all figments of your imagination. How is somebody going to instill fear in you if there's nothing to be fearful of? Which means you're in no way culpable. You didn't do anything wrong. You haven't violated any regulations. If that was factual, you wouldn't have fear. You wouldn't be thinking about this outlandish, outrageous concept of control. You're feeling that way. Bottom line is, you have no viable options with me. You have no viable options getting any action against law abiding behavior. You, on the other hand, left yourself exposed. I have multiple viable options. I am not the only person that has multiple viable options. What anybody else decides to do, that's their gig. I'm going to do what I stated I would do. And you're not going to have any viable recourse. You absolutely, by all means, you would be a fool not to defend yourself. And I would be a fool not to follow through after 2 years of doing good and damn well, you know what you did. I don't owe Carrie Ann anything. Anyone else out there that has an objection, I owe you no explanation either. I'm following through with what I stated I would do. And as far as this Nikki Proctor Walden, who also can't seem to learn her lesson, these two paired up, the blind leading the blind. If somebody was a true friend and they saw peril, they would at least warn the person. They wouldn't jump on live streams and dig in it with them. You're not going to intimidate me out of filing complaints with any and every agency I can find. Same thing goes for you, Nikki Proctor Walden. If you had it going on like that, you wouldn't be on the internet screaming and hollering like you are now resuming. If it's so wrapped up, four-cornered tight, you don't have to come on the internet using vulgarity and cursing people out. That's not very convincing. But I'm going to say the same thing to you as I said to Carrie Ann. You don't have a viable option with me either. You're not going to hold me in any sort of punitive context for following the law. Any and everything I said about you is true, and I can back it up. So go ahead and file your lawsuit, which will be perjury. All your talk, keep talking. That's what you like to do. You talk, but there's no action behind what you're saying. You just want people to pay attention to you, and what? Because you're screaming at somebody, they're going to listen to you? Where in the hell does that work? Maybe it worked when you were coming up. We weren't raised in a household of people screaming. It wasn't necessary. That's why it's so easy for me to just shut that shit off. I just tune it out. You can get up here and scream all day, every day. I'm going to tune your ass out. Now, there are people who come in, say what they need to say, and that's it. You constantly go on and on. You and Carrie Ann, you're not helping each other out. But that's going to be your problem. My conduct, my words and actions don't demand any negative outcome or any punitive action. There are some folks who will never get it, but I'm never going to neglect to tell you to heed the warning. Buyer beware.